Hello, and welcome to another episode of Tips and Tricks. I'm your host, Jen, and today we're going to be talking about leafy greens. Okay, so first we're going to talk about washing and drying. With any produce that we're eating, we just want to make sure that we have the dirt off of it, and so depending on the type of salad greens that you're choosing, you might have a different approach to it. If you're buying a bagged salad and it indicates that it's triple washed or it's been pre-washed, additional washing usually isn't necessary. For things that you're growing in your garden or buying in like a head of lettuce, for example, you're going to want to make sure that you're taking it apart and thoroughly cleaning the leaves so that you can make sure all the dirt is getting off. And you have a couple of options for that. One, you can use a colander and use this under the sink under running water. So you want to make sure that you are kind of rubbing with your hands to try to get any kind of grit or dirt off of it. No need to use soap when you're doing that. Your other option could be if you want to fill the sink with water and put your loose leaves in there and make sure you're kind of mixing them around a little bit to allow any dirt to drop off, and then you can just lift the washed produce or the washed greens out of there. After they're washed though, you're going to want to make sure they're dry, and so you have a couple of options for that as well. You can use a salad spinner, which I think are kind of fun tools, and they get it really dry and help with what you're going to do with it later. But you can also just simply take it out of the sink, shake it off really well depending on the size of your leaves. You might want to consider just tapping it or to dry it lightly, pat it dry between either two clean kitchen towels or using some paper towels as well. All right, so now that you have your greens dried and ready to use, we need to think about how you're using it. So sometimes you can get some larger pieces, and if that's the case, you may want to make them smaller so that you can have maybe more bite-sized pieces. Just make it easier for you or whoever to eat. A couple methods that you could work on with that. One could be simply tearing it so that they're in bite-sized pieces. This is something that if you have kids, you can have them help you with so you can get them involved with it. But you also could use your knife. A couple different fun techniques. So with these bigger leaves, with the spinach, just kind of rolling those up, and then with my knife, just slicing them. And so it ends up with these nice ribbons of spinach that can be a fun, different texture, different size, different shape in the salad to just make it appealing for people. So once we have our salad ready to go, now we want to make a salad dressing. So this is the fun part because just like with the salad, we can kind of mix things in that we want. The salad dressings are also nice to make that way as well. They're very flexible. We have some key components. We want to make sure that we have an oil. We want to make sure that we have some acid to add to it, and then we can add some various flavorings here. I love using old canning jars as a way of mixing them because it doesn't require fancy equipment, and it's a real great way to emulsify it by shaking it up. So get it all mixed together so it's easy to use for your salad. So I'm starting with my jar. I'm going to pour some olive oil in. And this is about a cup of olive oil. Here we have some different acids that we can choose from. We have red wine vinegar, we have apple cider vinegar, and we have lemon juice. You can use anything and pretty much any vinegar that you have in your cabinet. So if you have balsamic vinegar, you could add that as well. I'm going to use the lemon juice. So I'm just going to dump that in. And then I'm going to choose just a couple of additional flavorings to add to it. So what we have here are salt and pepper. We can add different herbs to it, some different spices. This is shallots and some garlic. We have mustard here as well, honey if we want to add a little bit of sweetness to it, and then we also have some Parmesan cheese. So as you can see, there's a wide variety of ways that you can adjust the flavoring of what the salad dressing ends up. So I'm going to use some shallots. Then I'm also going to add mustard to this. And then I can again add as many of these as I want. I'm just going to stick with these two. I'm going to put the lid on it and I'm going to shake it. And as you can see, the oil and the vinegar, or the lemon juice in this case, have mixed up. The mustard is mixed up in there as well. And now I can pour it over my salad. So I recommend doing this right before you're serving, not letting it sit for a long period of time before you're going to serve it. And I'm not going to use very much. Just enough to kind of flavor things, and then I'm just going to toss it. All right, so now we've tossed our salad, and we are ready to eat it.
Thanks for watching Cooking Tips and Tricks. We can't wait to see what you make this week. Please tag us on Instagram and all your posts, and we'll see you next time.